Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srimad Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srimad Prabhupada. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Chapter 72, Text number 11. Na kashin matparam loke tejasa yashasha sriya vibhutibhir vabhi bhavet devopi kim uparthiva na kashin matparam loke tejasa yashasha shriya vibhutibhir vabhi bhavet devopi kum uparthiva na kashin matparam loke tejasa yashasha shriya vibhutirvibhi bhavet devopi kum uparthiva. Please send.
नाकश्चिन्मत्परं लोके एतसादशशास्या भूतिर्भिर्भवे भवे देवकी किं उपार्थिवा
Mataji's. Word to word meaning. Now, not question any person, mat to me, param one who is dedicated, loke in this world, tejasa by his strength, yashasha fame, shriya beauty, vibhutibhi opulences, va or abhidhavet can overcome, deva a demigod, api even, kim u what to speak of, parthiva a ruler of the earth. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His disciples ki jai. Translation. No one in this world, even a demigod, what to speak of an earthly king, can defeat my devotee with his strength, beauty, fame or riches. Purport. Here Lord Krishna assures King Yudhishthira that he will have no problem conquering the worldly kings. Since the king is a pure devotee and the Lord's pure devotees can never be conquered even by the demigods, what to speak of earthly kings. Although materialists are proud of their power, fame, beauty and opulence, they can never surpass the pure devotee of the Lord in any of these categories. Hare Krishna. We'll chant prayers. Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Stam Sajivam Sadvatam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakhanvatamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nithi Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachal Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namah Vanchakalpatarubhesya kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnanebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yat kripatam ham bande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So I humbly seek blessings of all the assembled devotees here, so that we may be able to speak on this beautiful subject of Srimad Bhagvatam for the purification of our heart, for the glorification of the Lord, as a service to all devotees and for benefit of everyone. Especially seek blessings of Gaurang Smaran Prabhu, Shri Nitya Prabhu, Shri Ram Raghav Prabhu, and all the devotees. Everyone in this world is always seeking a position where he won't be defeated. Everyone wants to be victorious. Else why they put efforts? Everyone wants that in their life they should be, every effort is aimed for some victory, right? And if I don't put effort, how I'll become victorious? That's the position. Everyone wants to be at the top and to win over. But everyone wants to be top. Is that possible? That everyone becomes top, right? Someone will become top. If everyone becomes top, then that means no one is at top. Everyone is equal again, right? But everyone wants to be top. So is it possible that everyone becomes top? Is it possible that one become victorious by putting lot of efforts? On material platform, we find it is not possible. It is 100% guaranteed that how much effort one puts, how much ever he tries to come to the top, the failure is guaranteed, right? I was yesterday hearing one lecture by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and he was sharing about one devotee, one of someone sharing to him, and this person telling that how his father-in-law, he was one of the best producer in the Bollywood, and while he was at the peak of his career, as he was a producer, at that point of time, he was, so many people, would come to him, respect him, and talk to him, have so many meetings with him. All the big influential people, all the rich man, all the actor, actress, everyone would be wanting just few minutes of their time, his time. Even Prime Minister of India had great appreciation for him. He was such a big producer, so much famous. Everyone would come and respect him so much. And then after that, Maharaj was telling after that, after a few years of this great fame, he got 2 strokes. And after these 2 strokes, practically, he was not able to do anything. He got a stroke, so he was not able to do anything. Then, after that, a few years, he was practically in his bed, and only few family members were taking care of him. And he shared his realization of his life, which he received, to his son-in-law, and the son-in-law was telling to Maharaj, right? So this, and the realization which he speaks is that just see, now while I was at the peak of my career, so many people would call me, would want to talk to me, have meeting with me. But now, while I am in this condition, I am of no use, no productivity practically. Now no one comes to me. I thought these people are my friends, but I find that now no one even calls me or talks to me, right? It's completely, and they, what to say if they're coming to me? They even don't send any message, right? As if they don't know me only altogether, And hence, where is a true friend? Where is a, so he felt in his life that I have become very successful. Now I have got so many people around me who are thinking about me, taking care of me. But then when I become useless, then where are these people gone now suddenly, right? So hence on material platform, how much ever big we become, material nature will show its face, right? And shows the reality, and ultimate reality comes as death, but even before death, there's so many things, right? Which is shown by material nature, right? That actually everything will be taken away. If we are fortunate, we will be able to see material nature's, face before death, as death is a painful situation, right? So hence, it is not possible on material platform to become victorious. But here Krishna is speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj, another very wonderful secret. Yes, we want to be victorious. There is a way, right? It is possible only if we understand two things. We need to understand. First thing is to understand the definition of victory, right? Maybe we have to redefine victory. And the real issue in life is death, right? And hence one need to overcome that. One need to conquer and get victory over this biggest issue, right? And only devotees can do that. And hence, devotees are the only people who are actually victorious, right? So that's the first thing, right? But now, not only the devotees are victorious after death, which is the most important point, because ultimately everyone in this world is working hard for his future. सब लोग सोचते हैं, how I can work today so that my future is secure, isn't it? I'm going in this particular education so that in future I'll be more secure. I'm doing this particular job and putting my money in this particular saving so that future is secure, right? Everyone thinks of act in present for his future, right? But somehow the other materialists miss the point about the future in reality, because they don't understand that the future is continued after death, right? We are a spirit soul. It's not that death is the end of the future, right? So what about after that future? That they have not planned. And devotees, that's why actually are most intelligent, because they are constantly making, their future plans, right? They have their future plans well secured, because they are planning also beyond that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is about victory within this world also. So even in this world, Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita that I protect my devotees. Krishna has declared clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashyati. So Krishna protects his devotees. And hence, coming to this verse, here in this verse, we see that Krishna is making a point that no one in this world, even a demigod, what to speak of earthly, can defeat my devotee with his strength, beauty, fame, or riches. So this is the point, that actually I was just thinking about this. The point which Krishna is making here is like the essential point which Krishna is making in Bhagavad Gita, and whole Bhagavatam is filled with so many pastimes to tell us this central point, that how devotee is always victorious. And hence, now what is the conclusion of this point? First of all, we understand what is the meaning of this point is that devotee, as we read in this purport written by Prabhupada disciples, that because since king is a pure devotee and Lord's pure devotee can never be conquered by demigods, what to speak of earthly king, because a devotee is always protected by Krishna. So hence devotee is always glorious, and his position is the highest. We'll see that today in our discussion. And this is the eternal truth. So what is the consequence of this? What this point if we come to this conclusion, which is whole Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita is constantly talking, we'll see that, the consequence of this point, understanding this, that devotees are always victorious, devotees are the topmost people. It gives us two inspiration. First is that if I have to strive to become glorious, great personality, all I should try to become is become a devotee, right? So that's the first thing, first inspiration which comes, okay, let me become a devotee. But as we go ahead to understanding becoming a devotee, at least first thing we understand that I should not try to work on material direction, I should work on the direction of spiritual progress, right? So the path of progress has to be, the direction has to be given, that the direction is towards devotional service. Second thing, as we enter into this realm of becoming a devotee, you find that it seems this is a very glorious task, but simultaneously very high class task, to become devotee of Krishna. And as we go deeper in understanding, we realize that how to become devotee is when we become devotee of the devotee. That's what Krishna says in Adi Puran, that one who is devotee of my devotee is actually my devotee, right? And then, so hence we can come to a safe conclusion if we understand that the devotee is always victorious. So what we should do is that to become a devotee may be too tough a job, to take up, but we can understand that devotees team is always victorious. So let me join the team of devotees, right? Let me never give up that, right? So Srila Prabhupada's team is victorious. Let me join Prabhupada's team. Let me make my will, my desire as per what devotees want, right? And because in that way, I'll be always on the safe side, right? On the victory side, and I will have some contribution to do. So let me always choose to try to assist pure devotees. So having said this, we'll try to now enter into the discussions, and we'll hear from Srila Prabhupada how to practically apply these principles. So as we said, that this very point that devotees are the topmost people is there in every scripture. So let's see, starting from the primary scripture, like Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all Upanishads, Srimad Bhagvatam is the essence of all the Vedic literature, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. So we'll focus on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagvatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita gives us the very mode of all these Vedic literatures, giving the very essence, the final essence. And all of these scriptures are encouraging us to become devotee and to join the party of devotees. Right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the first thing in Bhagavad Gita itself begins with the point, that Krishna is sitting. The very scene of Bhagavad Gita is Krishna is sitting as a chariot driver of Arjuna. Right? This itself puts into a thought. Right? This itself is a sufficient proof to understand that how devotee's position is topmost. Right? That the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken a servant role, and he is sitting in the chariot. And this is how, even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is how Krishna enters. Right? Entry of Krishna is in 7th chapter, and he enters as a chariot driver for Arjuna. Right? So this is the entry, and Krishna makes this point very clear always, that I am subservient to my devotee. Right? So this is Bhagavad Gita beginning, and when we read ahead Bhagavad Gita chapter after chapter, you find like Krishna speaking, Bhakto si me sakha cheti, rahisam. So I am speaking this most confidential knowledge because you are my devotee. Devotee is such a special position. Then bhakti amam abhijanati, because a devotee can only understand me. Or yogi mam api sarvesham madgata antaratmano shraddhavan bhajate yo mam. So who is the topmost yogi? Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna, after describing, the entire yoga ladder, concludes with the point that the topmost devotee, topmost yogi is the devotee. And Bhagavad Gita concludes also by telling Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partha Dhanodhara, Tat Shri Vijayo. So again, the victory. Victory is wherever Krishna is there, and Krishna is wherever his devotees are there, right? So hence, devotees' party is going to be always victorious. Of this, there is no doubt, right? So in that way, we find Bhagavad Gita from beginning to end is filled with this very point. I just chose some points, but there can be so much more, right? Now, we go to Srimad Bhagavatam, and so many pastimes, when we are reading this verse, especially saying that no one in this world, even a demigod, what to speak of earthly king, can defeat my devotee with his strength, beauty, fame, or riches. So one pastime in Bhagavatam, which so many pastimes can come in the thought, but one pastime which few pastimes we will share. So one is a verse comes in 9th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, about when Lord Ramchandra is going to fight with Ravana. And there it is explained that although the Vanaras, they were having, the stones and the trees. They will uproot trees and they will have stones to fight with. These were their weapons. And Ravana's party had, the most sophisticated weapons, with lot of mantra and everything. Right? So although they had such powerful weapons, and these monkeys have very simple weapons, but Shukdev Goswami writes that still they were defeated because they were cursed by Sita Devi, because they were not on the side of Dharma, or they were not on the side of Lord Ramchandra. Dharma means wherever Krishna is there, that is Dharma. So they were opposing Krishna. They were opposing Krishna's devotees, so they were defeated. So that means, just having physical power certainly is not sufficient, right? This whole episode, and Prabhupada in the purport, they write that there are two kinds of power, Purushakar and Daiva. And Daiva, Purushakar means by our own physical strength, and Krishna's strength. So Krishna's strength is always greater. So someone who depends on Krishna or be a part of that team which is depending on Krishna, certainly he'll be victorious. The battle of Mahabharata, which is going to come, now here Rasya Yagya is happening, but Mahabharata will happen. In that, again, this is a whole theme, right? That Pandavas are having quite less army, and Kauravas having very powerful army. But still, Pandavas become victorious because they are devotees. Then we find another pastime which outstands in this theme in Srimad Bhagavatam, which we'll try to little bit more focus on also. Because here it is said that no one in the world, even the demigods. So how even a devotee's position is glorious over all the demigods. In this regard, the pastime which comes immediately to the thought is of Ambrish Maharaj. So you find that how Ambrish Maharaj, he was performing wonderful vrata, Ekadashi, he was performing a vrata in Madhuvan, right? And he was doing this vrata, and it was a Dwadashi day, and he was about to do Paran. At that point of time, Durvasa Muni, right, comes there, and actually Acharya has explained that he had a very envious thoughts, in his heart. He was thinking that how can this Ambrish be so much glorified? So that means that offense was really an offense. Offense is offense when there is negative attitude, right? So he had that attitude of trying to pull down Ambrish. It was not incidental, it was not circumstantial, it was well planned. So in that way, Durvasa Muni came with that idea, and he, while he went for taking bath, Ambrish Maharaj did Parana as per, in a proper way. As per the scriptures, it's proper to do Parana by simply drinking of water or Charnamrit. So then at that point of time, when Durvasa comes back, he immediately becomes angry, and he attacks Ambrish, and Ambrish Maharaj is folding his palms that yes, whatever Krishna wants should happen. But that point of time, devotee's power is exhibited by Krishna sending Sudarshan, and here Durvasa is running as Sudarshan is chasing him. Sudarshan was just little bit behind, right? Another thing we can see in this episode that actually Sudarshan had much greater power, than Durvasa. There is no doubt about it, right? Sudarshan could have immediately destroyed also. But he was just behind because the whole purpose was to give a lesson to us also and to Durvasa. So anyway, so Durvasa was running, and he ran and he went to first Brahma, and Brahmaji couldn't do anything because a devotee is protected by Krishna's power, right? So that's why Brahma couldn't say anything. He just offered obeisances. I am helpless. He went to Lord Shiva. Now they are not ordinary demigods. They are like the topmost demigods, right? So Lord Shiva couldn't do anything. And finally, Durvasa had such power that he could go to even Vaikuntha. But he find that devotee's power is so great. This pastime is showing two things. One is devotee's power is so great that that we should surely surrender to devotee. And second thing is devotee's power is so great that devotee se kabhi panga nahi lene ka. That's very dangerous. Never try to offend devotee. Never try to defame devotee. Because even what to say of Brahma, Shiva, even Krishna is going to reject. Krishna is not going to help. So in that case, he went to Krishna, took shelter of Krishna. But as he did that, Lord started to speak. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. This is 9th canto 4th chapter, text 63. Very nice verse and purport we'll read to get a lesson. So Krishna starts to speak. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Aham bhakta paradhino. Hi aswatantra ivadvaja. Sadhubhed grasta hridayo. Bhaktair bhakta jana priyaha. Supreme Personality of God had said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotee. Indeed, I am not at all independent. So this is Krishna's declaration, right? We say Krishna is Swarat in the 1.1.1, but here that point is changed, right? Here we are saying Krishna is saying, Aham Bhakta Paradhino, I am under devotee. And he says, Aswatantrata, I am not Swatantra, I am not at all independent. Because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires, I sit only within the core of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee, even those who are devotees of my devotees are very dear to me. So this verse also gives us a secret of how to make progress, because to become a devotee is too big a thing to achieve, right? It's too much to think that I can become a devotee. But yes, this secret is very encouraging, that we can join the party of devotee and try to assist devotees, try to become servant of devotees. Because Krishna is saying, they are very dear to me. Those who become servant of servants. So this is very nice. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport emphasizes this very important point, which is very much related to today's discussion. So Prabhupada's purport. All the great stalwart personalities in the universe, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are fully under the control of personality of Godhead. But the Supreme Personality of God is fully under control of his devotee. Why is this? Because the devotee is anya abhilashita shunya. In other words, he has no material desires in his heart. His only desire is to think always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how to serve him best. So this is the quality of a devotee which attracts the heart of Krishna, because this person doesn't want anything else. He just wants me. Everyone else wants something else, Krishna just gives them. But a devotee who says that, Krishna, I just want you, it's a tough situation for Krishna. Krishna keeps testing. So if we are on the path of devotional service, Krishna will give sufficient test. Right? For others, those who just want material things, there's not sufficient test. Krishna just gives. It's easy. But a devotee says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. It's very tough. What do you want? Maybe you want moksha. Mama janmani janmanishwari. So Krishna becomes completely confused. What is this? What do you want? I want ahetuki bhakti, by which I'll purchase you. And Krishna says, okay, this is your desire, wait. Krishna doesn't give this so easily. He will test because it's a big deal. So we are actually, a devotee is on the biggest deal. No one ever thinks like this, that I want directly Krishna. It's something like, you go to Prime Minister and you tell to Prime Minister, that I want this and so work done. Prime Minister says, okay, done, sanction. But you say, Prime Minister, I want you to come to my house and stay with me and help me. This is too much. How can you ask this much from Prime Minister? Right? So actually a devotee is saying like this, I want to be with you and have friendship with you, and just, it's too much. And Krishna says, wait, I have to test you. Right? So Krishna tests, and when Krishna actually sees that this devotee has no other desire, then Krishna gives this. And that time Krishna becomes in control of such a devotee who has bhakti. Because of this transcendental qualification, the Supreme Lord is extremely favorable to the devotee. Indeed, not only the devotee, but also the devotees of the devotees. So Prabhupada, first point Prabhupada is making that how the devotees are very special. And if you find very tough to be in this position, that this is too difficult, then Prabhupada is giving us a nice solution that, okay, let me try to find devotees who are completely unconditional. And hence, because Krishna is always trying to serve such devotees, Krishna is always with them. So if I can just try to be in the team and try to assist devotees who are like that, unconditional, then Krishna is very pleased. And Prabhupada further quotes, Sri Narottam Das Thakur says, Chhadiya Vaishnav Seva Nistar Pai Chekeba. Without being a devotee of a devotee, one cannot be released from material entanglement. And this is another important thing in an attempt to become a devotee. In real sense, and in real sense, who can become a devotee is this, one who becomes a devotee of a devotee. Every devotee is servant of a servant, right? Is servant of another devotee who is a servant. Right? When we say servant of the servant, means that person is also servant, right? So in that way, everyone is a devotee of a devotee, and that's how it goes. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified himself as Gopi Bhartur Pad Kamleyor Das Dasanudasa. Especially in this song, which Prabhupada often quotes, Chhadiya Vaishnav Seva Nistar Pai Chekeba. So I think the most quoted maybe in his purports, as Prabhupada is always making this point that there is no other hope. Rather, this line of the song says, Nistar Pai Chekeba. What is the hope? There's no other hope. If I don't become servant of a devotee, there's no other method practically. Prabhupada emphasizing this point very powerfully. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, Gopi Bhartur Pad Kamleyor Das Dasunaras. Thus he instructed us to become not directly servants of Krishna, but servants of the servant of Krishna. Devotees like Brahma, Narada, Vyasadeva and Shukdev Goswami are directly servants of Krishna. And one who becomes a devotee, becomes a servant of Narada, Vyasadeva and Shukdev, like the 6 Goswamis, is still more devoted. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur therefore says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadu. If one very seriously serves the spiritual master, Krishna certainly becomes favorable to such a devotee. Following the instruction of a devotee is more valuable than following the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Right? And so this is Prabhupada's powerful purport, emphasizing on this very point that how the method to come to this position is to become a devotee of the devotee, because devotee is always, unconquerable, right? And this is what the point Krishna is teaching this to Durvasa, right? Krishna is teaching this point to Durvasa, that if you become servant of Ambrish, then only you will be protected. You become my servant, there's not necessary you will be protected. But you become servant of my servant, you'll be surely protected, right? So this is one very powerful thing, and Krishna continues on so many verses, but I'll just read one more verse. That is Sadhavo hridayam mayam sadhunam hridayam tuham madanyate na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, and I am always in the heart of pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anything else but them. So in that way, we can see the position of devotee, that Krishna is saying that devotee is always in my heart and I am in the heart of devotee. I do not know anything else except for my devotee. That means to gain the favor of the Lord, one has to gain favor of his devotees, because Krishna is always with his devotees. So in that way we can see Bhagvatam filled with so many such leelas where Krishna is emphasizing on the importance of taking shelter of devotees. Then we can see Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also you find that how a devotee is the topmost position, especially just one pastime of Haridas Thakur. We can see that Haridas Thakur, taking shelter of the holy name, such a powerful personality that even Maya Devi herself comes, right? So we are here seeing the conquering over demigods, but Maya Devi is like bewildering all the demigods also, right? But here Maya Devi herself is coming, to try to test Haridas Thakur. But devotee's position is so great that even Maya Devi, after seeing the absorption of Haridas Thakur, Maya Devi is coming and telling that I took Ram mantra from Lord Shiva, but now I want to take again initiation from you in Krishna mantra. Give me re-initiation. And he takes initiation from Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur becomes Guru of Maya Devi. You can imagine. And that's why we take shelter of Haridas Thakur to chant Hare Krishna. Right? Because he's a Guru of Maya Devi. So Maya Devi, who is because of whom we are troubled, if we go to the Guru of Maya Devi, by Haridas Thakur's mercy, Maya Devi can leave us. So it's very easy formula. So Chaitanya Charitamrita also describes that devotee's position is so glorious, and hence we should strive to become, servant of these great devotees, because Krishna promises that devotees will never be vanquished, right? And that's why, because of this Krishna's promise, a devotee is always very confident and very determined. In our life especially, we can see the life of Srila Prabhupada, right? And Srila Prabhupada, when he was preaching, first of all we can see his fearlessness, and confidence on Krishna, that how he was, the kind of risk he took, if we try to, all of us must have analyzed, but we can keep analyzing again and again, because material nature makes us complacent. But when we think about Srila Prabhupada's sacrifice in such an old age, at the age of 70s, taking a Jalduta cargo ship, seasickness, I was once hearing that Radhan Maharaj sharing in one lecture that once he went on a ship, and with some other devotees, and when the ship started, it was very, very difficult experience, of seasickness and vomiting, dizziness. Then he said after some time, when the ship kept moving ahead, after some time he felt so much disturbed by the whole experience of dizziness and seasickness. He felt that it's better that I jump in water than to continue this. And then he actually jumped. Actually jumped in the ocean and came to the shore. Because this was too much, It was worse than death. And then he was sharing that what Srila Prabhupada underwent, we can imagine, at age of 70, he is going through such an disastrous experience. Sometimes you are so sick, one may be feeling so bad that better I just jump. It's so horrible. So actually Prabhupada underwent heart attack, and we don't know because Prabhupada didn't wrote everything in his Jalduta diary, but we have some idea that Prabhupada had seasickness, vomiting, dizziness, hardly he could eat. But he went through, he was determined, that yes, I have to, and he had full faith in Krishna's, protection, and Prabhupada was always victorious. And we can see Prabhupada's confidence also, that That Prabhupada was, when he would challenge, here in this verse it says, strength, beauty, fame, riches. Prabhupada would challenge all these kinds of people. Prabhupada practically had no money, but he would be going, and writing to, meeting prime ministers and writing to the UN and trying to give lectures there. If you see Prabhupada's attempts, Prabhupada was never thinking that, oh, I am a poor man, what can I do? Prabhupada was always thinking that I am with Krishna, right? What more you need? Krishna means all riches, all wealth, all opulence, all assure, all fame, all beauty, all intelligence, everything is there. So Prabhupada was, and he would openly challenge scientists, big philosophers, scientists, any priest, anyone on the earth. So devotee has that confidence, and by Krishna's mercy he is protected. And that's why if we take up and understand that if I just serve Srila Prabhupada's mission with full enthusiasm, so what Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's representatives want, if I just align with their desires, if I dedicate in that life, our life in fulfilling their desires, we'll be victorious. So we want to be victorious, right? This is the way. We can be victorious if we align ourselves with Prabhupada's desire, with Prabhupada's representative desires. That's how we'll be always victorious. But as soon as we don't align with that desires, we try to have our own plan to be victory, there's no chance, right? It's not going to work. That's what Krishna is making point here, that devotee is always victorious. Now this is the month of Kartik, and the Leela, which every day we are meditating on in Damodar Ashtakam, this Leela itself is declaring this very point, right? Iti drik swalila bhir. This Leela is doing two things. Iti drik swalila bhir Anand kunde swaghosham nimajjantam. So first thing he is doing that swaghosham means Krishna's own vraja. Krishna is taking his own vraja, swaghosham nimajjantam Anand kunde. So in Anand kund, Krishna is making all his brajvasis drown by showing such beautiful enchanting pastime. And second thing, akhyapayantam tadiyeshu tagneshu bhaktirjitattvam. That, so Krishna is declaring, the whole declaring, same declaration which is there in this verse, that I am actually conquered by my devotee. Please conquer me. Rather he is saying that conquer me by devotion service. Krishna is saying, see, this is how you conquer over me. And what is this devotion service? If we study, Srimad Bhagvatam on this very pastime of how Mother Yashoda's position, the position of Mother Yashoda is a very special topic to be also understood. In this Kartik we can meditate upon. So we see that Mother Yashoda caught Krishna. That's the first thing, how she caught Krishna. So Krishna is caught by devotees. And not only he caught Krishna, it is explained that actually there are many gopis who caught Krishna, right? And I think Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj in his book Damodar, he explains about two such instances where Krishna was caught by other gopis also, right? So once Prabhavati caught Krishna, right? Prabhavati gopi, and she caught Krishna, and she told Krishna, you are caught today red-handed, butter-handed. So I'm going to now take you to Mother Yashoda directly. And Krishna warned, don't do this. It will be very dangerous, And Prabhavati said, no, today I'm going to catch, every time you somehow the other escape, today you are caught. And Prabhavati took Krishna to Mother Yashoda and told Mother Yashoda, not mother, but Yashoda, you are always be saying that your Kana doesn't do anything, doesn't go. Today I caught him, butter-handed, And Yashoda saw whom she has caught, And Krishna had that time changed into the son of Prabhavati. And Yashoda said, you caught your own son. And Prabhavati was confused. And then Prabhavati went out. And when he went out, Krishna told that Krishna came back. That son changed to Krishna. And then Krishna told, so Prabhavati, I told you, you'll be embarrassed. And next time if you do, instead of your son, you'll find your husband. And it will be even more embarrassing. So in that way, Krishna was caught, but she couldn't do anything. Second time it is explained, one more time one gopi caught Krishna. And this gopi, when she caught Krishna, she told Krishna, today I am going to bind you here. And then this gopi started to bind Krishna with the rope. Right? And Krishna was not getting bound. Although she brought so many ropes, Krishna was not getting bound. And then Krishna told, I say, you cannot bind me. You don't know how to bind me. You have no idea. So Gopi said, is it? I don't know. So what to do? I will teach you how to bind me. Right? He said, okay, teach me. Okay, now you stand here. Krishna took the rope and he bound very tightly. So you learned how to bind? Thank you, Hare Krishna. So in that way he was caught, but he was not bound. But here, Yashoda's love, Yashoda's position is super great. Yashoda is not just caught, she is binding. And again, Krishna is not ready to be bound, because Krishna's Satya Sankalpa Shakti brought Vibhuta Shakti. And Krishna's Leela Shakti wanted to go out and play. Krishna wanted to go out and play, so Leela Shakti was not allowing him to bound. So Krishna was not getting bound, because of, although it was inconceivable, what's happening, two finger too short, right? But Krishna was not getting bound. But then, a very important one verse I will try to share from Srimad Bhagvatam 10.9.17. where it is explained that how this pastime is happening of ropes, festival of ropes. So many ropes from her home is over ropes, and after that even from other homes the ropes are coming, and Krishna is still two finger too short. So what's happening here? Evam swageha damani Yashoda sandati api gopinam susmayantinam smayanti vismita bhavat. So this verse says, thus Mother Yashoda joined water ropes were available in the household, but still she failed in her attempt to bind Krishna. So she was putting efforts, but she is failing. Mother Yashoda's friends, the elderly gopis in the neighborhood, were smiling and enjoying the fun. Similarly, Mother Yashoda, although laboring in that way, was also smiling. And all of them were struck with wonder. So, two important thing, we can learn is in this pastime of Mother Yashoda trying to bind Krishna is Yashoda Mai's consistency. Although failing again and again, she is determined to please Krishna. Whatever pleases Krishna, even though I am failing, I will do it. Right? I am going to be determined and make it happen. So consistency. This Krishna very much likes a devotee's consistency in his effort despite failures. And ultimately failures are because of Krishna's arrangement. Okay. And amazing thing, the way Krishna makes us fail also is he encourages. Like, I was also thinking about that, why it was only two finger too short. Someone asked why it was only two finger too short. It can be one hand short or something. Krishna keeps, when we fail also, Krishna keeps our failure also in such a way that it appears that we will be successful. We will be just doing it. So Krishna encourages. Two finger too short is like encouragement. You can do it. Continue. So then Yashoda was continuing, but it was always two finger too short. But she didn't give up. She was not discouraged. Neither she was, she felt frustrated. She was continuing. So one thing is to continue with determination, consistency. Second thing is smayanti vismita bhavat. This line very, very wonderful. That Yashoda Mai was simultaneously smiling. Vismita bhavat. She was wonderstruck. She was wonderstruck, and she was continuing with a great smile. She wanted, still I will serve devotees, still I will continue in the mission. Although so much anartha, so many troubles from inside, from outside are coming, but I'll just continue. Month after month, day after day, year after year. When Krishna sees this kind of consistency, drishtva parishramam Krishna then Kripaya Asit Swabandhan. Then Krishna says, really you are serious, because we will be tested thoroughly, all throughout. Just to continue itself is not easy. Right? There's so much test, so much problems. But if we can, the solution is not to, like example we can take of, now World Cup is going on, match, cricket. So Krishna consciousness is not like 2020 or one day match. It is not even test match. It is more than that. And in test match, but it is like test match. In test match, more important is to be on the wicket. कि किसी तरह से विकेट बचाओ अपना. विकेट बचाओगे तो कभी ना कभी छक्का चौका मारने का मौका मिल जाएगा, right? So that's why if you stay on, in Krishna consciousness every day, although we may be a big failure, in able to do some great things for Krishna consciousness moment, but if we stay on, that is a big contribution. And somehow the other time the simple balls will come and opportunities will come where one can do wonderful for the mission also. But if we stay on, then we can do that, right? So let us, and this pleases Krishna very much. When a devotee is there, for year after year after year. So in that way we can, today's Ekadashi also we can chant Hare Krishna, put our efforts to try to hear the holy name, mantra after mantra after mantra, not giving up. We may not be able to successful, but if we keep chanting, keep putting effort again and again, Krishna is only looking for this one quality, that how a devotee is consistent in putting his effort, because that consistency or uninterrupted is a proof of ahetuki, and Krishna is looking for that ahetuki. Someone who just can go on and on and on means he doesn't want material things. He's not frustrated by material failures. So to conclude, we saw today that how this verse here Krishna is explaining that devotee's position is so glorious that no one can ever defeat him, and hence if he can become a servant of devotees, and try to assist them and remain consistent in our effort, be ahetuki in trying to assist devotees, trying to please devotees, and be in devotees party. Never try to give up devotees team and think I will independently do it. I will have some materialistic people, they are doing so good. They will always be failures. How much ever great is materialistic, and devotee, how much ever simple he may be, and how much ever something very charismatic he may not be, but he will always be victorious, right? So that is the nature of a devotee. So if we can just try to assist devotees, be in devotees team, then surely our life will be glorious. And when Krishna sees that consistency of staying on and in the moment, Krishna's moment, trying to serve in the humble mode of servant, Krishna is conquered. And then Krishna will be agreed to be bound. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagvatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Question? Okay. Time to khatam ho gaya. Sorry. I think because it's a breakfast time, so it's better to, because the whole class I spoke of serving devotees. I don't want to offend devotees. So devotees can go for prasad and personally meet. Hare Krishna.